Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Playing Pauper. So it's been a bit since we've actually been playing Pauper, which means we're kind of digging back in our instant deck decks for our deck, but the good news is we got a super sweet one. We are playing Pauper Ponza, kind of a Pauper port of the Modern Ponza deck, doing the same thing, like ramping, trying to blow up lands, and then finishing the game off with some really big threats, hopefully really quickly with all the ramp. So, like usual, gonna do a super quick 2-minute refresher deck on Pauper Ponza. If you want a full breakdown, make sure to follow the link down below in the description box. Watch the instant deck. We talk more in depth about the deck there. So anyway, 2-minute deck, then we'll jump into the gameplay. Anyway, a quick reminder before we break down Pauper Ponza for Pauper. If you enjoy this deck and you enjoy playing Pauper in general, it would be so sweet of you if you could take a second, click that subscribe button down at the bottom of your screen. It's a great way to support the channel and the site for free. So let's talk Pauper Ponza, and it starts off looking a lot like Modern Ponza, where we have Arbor Elf plus Utopia, Sprawl, and also Wild Growth to hopefully make 4 extra mana as early as turn 2, which means we want to start the land destruction train going as quickly as possible. We got Thermocrest at 3 mana, Reclaiming Vines can also blow up artifacts and enchantments, but normally hitting lands. Then we have 2 land destruction spells that are also ramp spells, in Acid Moss, Reap and Sow. So not only are we putting our opponent down a land, we're going up a land, which helps us get to kind of our big finisher. So Mulch Ambler, kind of a semi-finisher, blows up a land, also leaves behind a body. We have some big cyclers, which are 2 of our primary finishers, but great in this deck because we can also just cycle them away in the early game. So for digging for lands, digging for land destruction, we can feel free to just cycle them away, and then if we already have all the land destruction we need, already have enough mana, then we just cast them, and they are bigger than just about everything in the Pauper format. And then our big final finisher, the best one of the bunch, is basically the Pauper Emrakul. Ulamog's Crusher is just the biggest, baddest, most annihilating way to close out the game in the Pauper format. So if we get enough ramp going, we can get this down pretty early in the game, turn 4, turn 5, and then it takes advantage of the fact that all of our land destruction leaves our opponent without many permanents, so they don't really have many good sacrifice options. So then we just crush through with Ulamog's Crusher and close out the game. Otherwise, Sprout Swarm gives us another finisher, also some blockers, a bunch of forests in the mana base. Sideboard, we have some removal, hopefully to fight against Delver, which seems like a tricky matchup. Some artifact enchantment destruction, Nile Spellbomb, and that is Pauper Ponza for the Pauper format, and that's our playing Pauper deck for this week. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the gameplay videos, and yeah, I'll be back in a bit with a wrap up. Alright, playing Pauper time. Playing some mono green Ponza, and I think we keep this. We have Wild Growth on 1. Hopefully we just draw lands and start blowing up our opponent's stuff. Worst case, we can start cycling Greater Sandwurms to find lands. Alright, Blossoming Sands. Well, Forest, Arbor Elf. Man, if we draw a land, it's so good. It's so good. If we draw a land, we have 4 mana next turn, so we can easily destroy a land. Alright, Colony Garden, sure. So opponent's playing some sort of token deck, so we would love to destroy this Blossoming Sands. Oh, Cartouche. Alright. Well, opponent's getting to it. Land, please. Alright, opponent's gonna get in for... can't get in. Alright, land. Alright, there's a forest. That's what we needed. So, Wild Growth our forest. Tap, untap, tap, and blow up Blossoming Sands. I think we're gonna hold on to Reap and Sow. Reap and Sow, if we get 1 more mana, we can entwine it and also find a land. Keeping our opponent off white mana seems good. Alright, Rancor. Eventually we'll have a huge thing to block, but we are taking a decent amount of damage here. Opponent gets in. 4/4. So I guess another land is our best draw. Opponent passes. Reclaiming Vines. So cycle Sandworm, looking for a land. There's a land. So play the land, untap, and I guess we just Reclaiming Vines the Colony Garden. Pass the turn. So next turn we can Reap Sow with Entwine, and then the following turn we get down Sandworm to hopefully block, and that should be fast enough. I guess if we draw a land here just naturally, then we probably just double land destruction, no ramp, no entwine. Put our opponent to 0 lands, and we still get to Greater Sandwurm. Down to 12. Selena Ledgewalker. Ugh, okay. Tusker. Actually, we got to do this first. So Tap, untap. Man, if our opponent has another Ranker, that's pretty bad. Entwine a Reapso. Blow up the forest. Grab a forest. Pass the turn. This Ledgewalker's scary. Ledgewalker's scary if it can get rankered up or something. So opponent's gonna hit us. Down to 7. Yup. Okay. Opponent passes. Arbor Elf. Well, I think we have to play a big threat here, unfortunately. Would love to put our opponent off their last land, but let's cast Greater Sandwurm. Pass the turn. So now we're not just going to keep getting run over by the tokens. We can't block this Ledgewalker, basically ever. Alright, tapped white mana. That's fine. We can take next turn off to blow up another land. Opponent gets in. Down to 6. Opponent passes. Tusker. Well, cycle a Tusker. Grab a land. Draw a card. Utopia Sprawl. Well, Utopia Sprawl on green. Untap the land. Blow up the white source. Play Arbor Elf. Play a forest. Yeah, I guess we got to stay on defense. Pass the turn. Next turn, we can probably start attacking. Ulamog's Crusher would be a nice draw. Opponent gets in for 1. Yep. Down to 5. Oh, this is going to be close. Opponent passes. Well, blow up the land. Put our opponent to 0 lands. Untap. Untap. Play Tusker. Okay, let's think about this. We get in with Sandworm. Then we drop to 3. Alright, let's take it. Hit our opponent to 15. Pass the turn. Opponent. At some point, our opponent needs to attack with this warrior just to get the Ranker back to hand. Yeah, this is the point. Alright, not yet. Opponent gets in. That's fine. We take it. Down to 4. Let's see what we draw here. Another big creature would be nice. Forest. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So get in with Sandworm. Opponent blocks. Gets back Ranker. Come on, no untap green source. Untap green source is very bad because then they get to Ranker Ledgewalker. Whoo! Opponent did not hit it. All right. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. All right, that was super close. Yeah, what do we want against this deck? Scattershot, no. Spellbomb, no. I guess we can try to Nature's Claim enchantments. I don't know if that's very realistic when the enchantment's Ranker. We might just stay the course. Stay the course. I mean, I don't know how this deck beats like a Crusher very consistently. Or even like a Sandworm. We do have Mold Shambler, which can blow up enchantments. Reclaiming Vine can blow up enchantments. Gutshot kills some stuff, but not everything. Yeah, let's run it back. Run it back, run it back. Seems like a challenging Ponza matchup, but we'll take it. We are on the draw. We do have Crusher, but no ramp. We're going to keep it. We can cycle Sandworm. Hopefully we draw into ramp. Hopefully we don't fall too far behind, but Crusher is a great catch-up. Young Wolf. Oh. Well, there's Wild Growth. That's good. Wild Growth or Forest. That helps a ton. That is basically exactly what we wanted to draw. Assuming our opponent does not also have land destruction after sideboarding. Forest. Utopia Sprawl. Yup. On white. That's a little risky against a land destruction deck. Cartouche, Pumps the Wolf. Well, opponent's emptying their hand, putting things on the battlefield. 3 mana land destruction would go a long way here. Opponent gets in. Down to 18. And passes. Tusker. Well, I guess it's play a forest, pass the turn, cycle Tusker. We might be too slow. They have a follow. Oh, boy. That increases the odds. Oh, man, we need that land destruction. You can see the play-draw difference. Opponent gets in for 6. Well, cycle Tusker. Grab a land. Draw a card. It's a land. Opponent down to 12, up to 24. Another land. We're taking 6? Cycle Sandworm. I think we got to hit like an Arbor Elf. Okay. Pass the turn. I guess Sprout Swarm block Glade Cover Scout is not the worst. Forest. Opponent. Is it going to buy us enough time, though? Well, let's Sprout Swarm. Unfortunately, can't buy back. Kill Glade Cover. Yup. Down to 7. Down to, yeah. Come on, no follow-ups. Opponent passes. Well, play a Forest. I think we're too slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're taking 4 to 3. What else do we have? I guess we could draw something to blow up Armadillo Cloak. Alright, so I think we pass. We're in a very precarious situation, though, if they have another pump spell enchantment. Maybe we should be bringing in Nature's Claims. Now that we've seen Armadillo Cloak and whatnot. Opponent attacks. Well, buy back a Sprout Swarm. Block the Warrior. Down to 3. We do not have many outs here. Opponent passes. Come on, deck. Give us something. Wild Growth, yeah. Well, just a smidge too slow. This does have Trample, so chumping doesn't save us. Alright. Do we want to bring in Nature's Claims? We already have a lot of enchantment destruction. We are going to be on the play. Let's just run it back. We'll play first. Alright, it's risky, but we're going to keep it. We basically need a land or a ramp spell. If we get to 3 mana, we can cycle Tusker, and then we get to Acid Moss. So I think this is a huge draw step. We really just need to peel a land this turn, and this hand's going to be great. There's Mr. Slippery Boggle. Come on, land. Come on, land. Well, Utopia Sprawl. On green. Untap Utopia Sprawl. Cycle Sandworm. Pass the turn. This still could be good enough. We need our Arbor Elf to live. Opponent plays a tap land. Yup. Getting in 4-1. Come on. No gut shots. No gut shots. Down to 19. There's a land. So tap, untap, tap, play a land. Oh, I feel like we're in good shape. Blow up Colony Garden. Get a land. Up to 6 mana. We're getting close to this Crusher, or just going to town with Sprout Swarms. Opponent. Utopia Sprawl. Alright, what can they do with their white man? Oh, red. Huh. Wow, the greed! The greed! I think that's still okay. It's not ideal. Opponent hits us. It slows us down a lot, but we get to blow up the Utopia Sprawl land. Oh, man, and another Arbor Elf? Well, blow up that land, thank goodness. Play Arbor Elf. Alright, back on track. Back on track with the Arbor Elf. Pass the turn. Now I feel like we're in pretty good shape again. Opponent. Tap land. We are out of land destruction for the time being. Passes. Just kidding. We're never out of land destruction. Tap, untap, tap, cycle Tusker. Get a land. Man, we're going to be 1 mana away from just crushing. Drawing... what? Ramp land destruction would be... oh my god, we're running well. Well, we're running pretty well. Blow up Blossoming Sands. Get a land. And, yeah, I mean, I don't think our opponent is going to be able to deal with Crusher very well on this board. Forest. Ledgewalker. Yup. Opponent's getting in. They're going to need, like, white mana Journey to Nowhere or something. And Pauper Ponza looking pretty good this game. Mold Gembler. Well, tap, untap, tap. And yeah, we're just going to go for it. Crusher. Hope our opponent does not draw the removal spell. And then we can go back to working on their lands next turn. If our opponent had white mana, then we'd probably wait and try... ooh. That makes white mana. White mana. Oh, alright. Just a cartouche. That's fine. Opponent. Yeah, it's in. With Ledgewalker. Sure. Down to 15. If we draw land, we get double land destruction, Crusher attack. Let's cycle Tusker. Get a land. Reclaiming Vines. So we have 6 mana. Well, tap, untap, tap, and kick a Mold Gambler. Blow up the forest. Get in with old Crusherton. Crushy Crusherton. Opponent sacks. And, yeah, I think this one, we might be getting there. Crusher. It's like the Ulamog of Pauper. Or the Emrakul or something. And we got the GGs. Whoo! Pauper Ponza getting off to a strong start. That was pretty impressive. We just blew it all up. Sweet. Alright, playing Pauper time. We are looking to Ponza our way through the format, and we'll keep this. We're a land short of really going to town, but that's fine. We have Wild Growth on turn 1, and then hopefully we just get to Reclaiming Vines on time. So, Wild Growth, go. And then we got Crusher to hopefully finish things off. Island for our opponent. Land Destruction, Tusker. Alright, so pass the turn, cycle Tusker. Opponent plays an island. Yeah, well, let's cycle. Get a land. Draw a card. Alright, more lands. I'll play a forest, and yeah, I mean, it's time. Time to reclaim some... Man, I'm really paranoid I'm going to blow up my own land. Alright, target the island. Add mana. Do you have a counter? Ooh. Alright, well, that's not the worst. We didn't destroy the land, but we still put our opponent down a land drop because they had to pick up the land. So that's a pretty clear sign our opponent did not have another counter, because that is a painful way to counter that spell. That's very... Actually, in the terms of gameplay, that's pretty similar to destroying a land. Oh boy, there's an Augur. Well, come on deck. Opponent goes digging, finds a Doomblade, which I guess can end our Crusher eventually. I'll play Arbor Elf, play a forest, and blow up a land, pass the turn. And maybe Sprout Swarm is our secret here. Preordain. Man, finding another land destruction spell would be sweet. Dismal Backwater. So we can play Crusher, but it just dies. Opponent gets in. Yep. Come on, deck. Give us something good. Mold Shambler is pretty excellent. So let's kick a Mold Shambler, blow up the Black Source, get in with Arbor Elf, and now we have a threat too. Pass the turn. Island for our opponent, and passes. I'll play the forest, get in with Shambles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, let's just run out Crusher. Force our opponent to have a counter or a Black Source. All right, opponent does have counter spell. Well, pass the turn. Another island for our opponent. Evokes a Muldrifter. Draws a couple cards. Another Crusher would be good. I guess any of our big threats would be reasonable. Opponent passes. Arbor Elf. Well, get in with Mold Shambler. Play Arbor Elf. Sprout Swarm. And buy back a Sprout Swarm. And pass the turn. Alright, opponent gains a life. There's a tap Black Source. Hopefully we can blow that up. That's Reapin' So. Yeah, let's Entwine. Go for the Black Source. Get a land. Get in with Shambles. And pass the turn. Alright, Forbidden Alchemy, which means... Untap, tap, 2, untap. Yeah, we can only make... Oh, yeah. Alright, we can only make one... Yeah, we can only make one token. But make a token. Pass the turn. Opponent mills a bunch of stuff. Bajukabog. Yep. Opponent's desperately fighting for this black mana. Land destruction, please? Opponent passes. Well, blow up the Black Source. Opponent finds a counter. Untap, untap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, let's just get in with Shambler. Untap, tap, untap, tap, Sprout Swarm, and then Sprout Swarm, and pass the turn. Sprout Swarm has been pretty impressive here. Augur Bolus. Yep. So opponent's going to Augur plus Doomblade, I assume. Finds a Probe. And there's a Gurmag Angler. Opponent passes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I mean, I guess we start making tokens. So buy back a Sprout Swarm. Buy back a Sprout Swarm. Buy back a Sprout Swarm. Untap, tap, untap. Buy back a Sprout Swarm. And pass the turn. We're close, but not quite close enough. We need our opponent not to have an untap land. If they can kick this... Probe this turn, we lose our Sprout Swarm. Well, I guess they can't do that, because if they spend their turn doing that, they just die on the backswing. So they're going to have to leave up removal, I think. But then that means we just keep making tokens? Alright. Probe draws 3, discards 2. Looking for lands. So we can't win. 1, 2, 3. Opponent Doomblades Mold Shambler. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we could put our opponent to 1. This is assuming they hit a land drop, which I'm sure is their plan. Yep, there's a land drop. Wow. Huh. Well, now I just kind of want to draw a land destruction spell and go for it. We draw land. Do we just attack with everything? Yeah, attack with everything. Kills an Arbor Elf. Blocks, blocks. This takes Evankar's Justice off the table. Put our opponent to 1. Make a Sapperling. Yeah, play a forest. Make a sapperling. Pass the turn. And I don't know, I don't think Pauper has a sweeper in these colors that's not Evankar's Justice. So with our Evankar's Justice does 2 damage to creatures, also players. So I think that this should, yeah, that does it. We took the sweeper off the table with the attack. Okay. That was not horrible. I guess we want these Nile spell bombs most likely, and then, I mean, we just want to attack the lands. That's the plan. Blow up as many lands as possible, as quickly as possible. What do we go down for the Nile spell bombs? Or maybe it's not worth it. They're flashing back Forbidden Alchemies, Mystical Teachings. You know what? Actually, I think we don't. I think ideally their graveyard stuff is so expensive. This is probably for like the more dredge style decks. Their graveyard stuff is powerful, but it's so expensive that in theory we can just keep our opponent off of it by blowing up enough lands. Like if they never get to 6 or 7 mana, their graveyard stuff isn't doing anything. Alright, we'll try it. Only 1 land, but we do have Wild Growth Island for our opponent, and Preordain. So hopefully we draw land. Getting to Tusker would be good. That gets us to our land destruction. Leaves 1 on top. Well, Forest and Wild Growth. Pass the turn. Come on, land. Land for Tusker. Swamp for our opponent. Duresses. Alright, it's got some options. Do they take Sprout Swarm? Probably take Wild Growth from this hand, actually. Then if we don't draw land, we're in pretty rough shape. Takes a Wild Growth. Well, come on, land. Come on, land. All right, there's a land. So pass the turn. That's good. So now we get our 4th land from Tusker. And then we can start playing land destruction and see what happens. Tap land. Ooh. Does this mean opponent might not have a counter? Let's cycle Tusker. They probably brought in negates maybe from the sideboard. Draw a Sandworm. Play a forest. Reclaiming Vines, the dual land, or attempt to. It works! All right. So now the goal is to keep opponent off double blue if possible. Double blue means counter magic. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. That is the juiciest of juicy targets. Oh, play a forest. Reclaiming Vines, the bounce land. Oh man, that's brutal. Brutal! Opponent's down to 1 land. There's the swamp. Oh man, come on, land for kicking. Tusker. 1, 2, 3. All right, so we just need to blow up the island. No blue mana. Come on, more land destruction. Come on, land destruction. Land destruction. This is rough. Play Utopia Sprawl. Cycle Tusker. Get a land. Draw a card. Play a forest. Play Arbor Elf. Pass the turn. Does our opponent find a land? They do not. All right. All right, all right. Untap. Opponent has to discard the hand size. That's a Mold Shambler. Well, let's put our opponent to literal 0 lands. And then take advantage of this window to start making Sapperlings, pass the turn. And then Crushy Crusherton coming down to clean things up. Wow, this deck is very punishing if you don't hit your land drops. Wow. And that is the GG. The flawless victory scoop for Pauper Ponza. Oh boy. Oh my lord. Whoa. All right. That was pretty sweet. We will certainly take it. All right, playing Pauper time. We are, oh my god, the nut draw. We are Ponza-ing in Pauper, and this hand is roughly as good as it gets. We could use a finisher, but we have turn 1 ramp, turn 2 land destruction, turn 3 land destruction, turn 4 land destruction, and yeah, I mean, This is exactly what we want to be doing on the play. We'll keep our opponent at 1 land for essentially the entire game. And our opponent's mulliganing. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, Forest and Wild Growth. So I guess our opponent's gonna need, like, I don't even know. Something pretty, yes, not Orzhov Guildgate. Oh my god, and a Mold Shambler. Yeah, this is the nuts. This is as good as it gets for our deck. Swamp, sure. Oh my god, and the Crusher. If we can just ramp into the Crusher. Well, blow up your land, get a land, up to 5 mana. Opponent plays a Swamp, passes. Play Utopia Sprawl, on green. Blow up the land, pass the turn. Swamp. Well, you know what's happening now. Kick a Shambler, blow up the Swamp, play the Forest, and if we draw a land, it is literally the ultimate nut draw. Opponent's out of lands finally. Land? For the scoops. It's a land, it's an Ulamog's Crusher, and I don't know what to say. That is the dream. That is literally as good as it gets. The perfect draw on the play. Oh my goodness. Well, that doesn't happen all that often, but when it does, it is super amazing. That is the flawless victory. We drew the Crusher. Oh my god. Whoo! Do we want to change anything? I guess our opponent's probably just white-black mid-range, which I think means we don't really change anything. Just run it back and hope for the nut draw again. And, all right. We'll keep it. We're on the draw this time, but we still have a very good start. Scoured Barrens for our opponent. And the Crusher. Well, land and Arbor Elf. So if our opponent doesn't kill this Arbor Elf, we Acid Moss next turn. All right, manages to kill it. Plays, oh boy, that's a juicy target. Gonna have to wait a turn, but that is a very juicy target. Play a Forest, play Wild Growth. I guess if they have land destruction, we're just kind of screwed no matter what. So we'll keep it on the same one. All right, no land destruction, or we'll be hoisted by our own petard, so to speak. Oh, that's pretty fine. Opponent draws, played Scoured Barrens, sure. Well, now we get to start the fun. Acid Moss, the Bounce Land. Bounce lands are so punished against this deck. Tap land. Well, Entwine a Reapinso. Basically a more expensive Acid Moss. Get a land. Pass the turn. Oh, this has got to be the nightmare for the opponent. Opponent passes. So, Acid Moss land. We get to double land destroy. Are we just going to get the double flawless victory? Oh my goodness. Opponent manages to find a land. Oh, ooh, Gurmag Angler. Well, blow up the land, play Arbor Elf, pass the turn. This gives us a little cushion if our opponent manages to get an Edict effect. Well, they found another land. Opponent gets in. I mean, I guess this Angler could win if they can kill this Crusher. Tap on tap, play Crusher, pass the turn. Come on. Oh man, they got a land. Wow, opponent! Okay. I think we cycle Tusker actually. Get a land out of our deck. Draw a card. Yes, there's Reclaiming Vines. That's good. Wouldn't mind another land destruction spell. Well, blow up Journey. Get in with Arbor Elf. Play the land. Hopefully our opponent... Oh man, do they have more removal? That is the question. All right, Edict. That doesn't quite do it though. Passes. Blow up the swamp because of Tragic Slip. Now we go Crushing. Sack, sack. Hit our opponent. Pass the turn. Land. And scoops it up. We got there. We got there. We got there. Wow, that was a pretty impressive match for Pauper Ponza. That was the blowout. Oh my goodness. Well, kids are eating. 3-0. All right, playing Pauper time. We are looking to blow up some lands. Delver. Huh. Well, this might be one of those cases where we can blow up lands and it's still not enough. Arbor Elf, go. Yeah, if this Delver flips, things are sketchy. We have a lot of sideboard cards to help against Delver. Delver. No flip. Well, that's good. Ponders. Setting up old flip for next turn. I think we snap block if our opponent attacks. Like in half a second. No shuffles. Miscreant. Opponent passes. I'll play a Forest. Play Wild Growth. Tap, untap, tap. Actually, can we get... Yeah, let's Utopia Sprawl. On green. Tap. Acid Moss. Don't daze me. Don't daze me. All right. Get a Forest. Pass the turn. Opponent does get to flip Delver with a Preordain. Plays an island. Augur of Bolus. Finds a Vapor Snag. Boo. Gets in for 4. I think we want another land destruction spell to try to put our opponent to 0 lands. Tusker. Well, cycle Tusker. I don't know what our pathway to beating these flyers is. Get a Forest. Play a Forest. Untap. Blow up a land. Get a land. Play Arbor Elf. Pass the turn. I guess it's somehow getting our opponent out of lands and playing Crusher, finding Crusher. We don't have a good way to kill the flyers. Ugh, more Delvers. Oh, dear. Dear, oh dear. Gets in with everything. We know there's a Vapor Snag. Well, blow up a land, untap, tap, untap, tap, cast a Tusker, cast an Arbor Elf. Ugh. Okay, Delver. not flip. Land. Opponent gets it. We take it. Down to 7. Opponent passes. Ugh. Land. Well, get it with Tusker. Opponent takes it. Pass the turn. Well, let's see if our sideboard cards are good enough. Flip and we're dead. No flip. Opponent gets it. We're still dead though, because we don't really have any way of stopping these flying beats. Opponent passes. Yep. All right. To the sideboard, where hopefully gut shots and scatter shot archers. You can tell this is a rough matchup because we have so many sideboard cards for it. So what do we go down? I think Reclaiming Vines are non-ramp land destruction. Not sure about Sprout Swarm, actually. Maybe one Sprout Swarm is okay. It can't really block. It's not, against like a Gurmag Angler, it's great at keeping us alive. Against this deck, a little less great. We don't actually want Nile Spellbomb. So we gotta cut 4 more of something. Maybe like 2 Mold Chamblers, 1 Sandworm, 1 Reapso. Alright, try it like that. I mean, we get 8 sideboard cards. Let's see how helpful they are. Well, there's a gut shot. This hand's pretty good. So turn 1, Utopia Sprawl on green. Turn 2, land destruction, plus we can gut shot a Delver if they have one. Island. There's the Delver. So wait until we untap because of days. Gut shot the Delver. Play a land. Play Wild Grove. Blow up the land. Pass the turn. Well, now we kind of want a big finisher. Whoa! Whoa! Whew! Opponent kept a 1-lander. Wow. Punished. Gut shot. 1 land destruction spell. Opponent has enough. Okay, that worked. Run it back. Let's do that one more time. Keep it going. Watch us 5-0 with this deck. That would be so sweet. Okay. This is fine. We got the gut shot. Island. Delver of Secrets. Opponent passes. Well, play the land. Gut shot the Delver. Play Wild Growth. Pass the turn. Island for our opponent and Ponder. So many cantrips. And more Delvers. Well, come on, more gut shots. Opponent passes. Well, play a forest. Utopia Sprawl. On green. Cycle Tusker. In case we hit a gut shot. Not impossible, not likely, but not impossible. Grab a forest. Gut shot, forest. All right, pass the turn. Well, how about no flip? Although they just pondered, so it's gonna flip. Now it becomes a lot harder to kill. Flips with a Preordain. Preordains. Opponent goes attacking. Yep, down to 15. Play a forest. Blow up a land. Looks like a counter. Yeah, Delver is a problem. Oh, Gushes. Okay. Pass the turn. That does keep us from getting a land. This deck seems super sweet, but it seems like Delver is a really tough matchup. And unfortunately, Delver is one of the most played decks in the format. Opponent passes. Oh, play a forest. Utopia Sprawl. On green. Acid Moss. Man, we just need like a giant spider. Maybe Penumbra Spider. Like some sort of spider would be pretty helpful. Opponent floats. Pass the turn. So what's our potential way of winning here? Opponent plays the island. Somehow like sticking a crusher maybe? Like drawing and sticking a crusher. Opponent passes. I think we got to cycle. I don't think just playing Tusker is fast enough. So cycle Tusker. Get a land out of our deck. Scattershot helps, but it needs help. Tusker. Cycle Tusker. Get a land out of our deck. Play a forest. Play Utopia Sprawl. Might as well put it on red just in case. Play Scattershot. There's the spell stutter. Uh-oh. Yeah. Well, we're seeing the power of Delver. I think there's been some conversations going on in the Pauper community about banning something from this deck, and I'm pretty much on board. The metagame statistics don't really show it well because of how Wizards releases deck lists, but I'm pretty sure that Delver is pretty much far and away the best deck in Pauper. There's a gut shot, play a forest, and I think we're actually just out of outs. Oddly enough, if that Scattershot Archer had resolved, we would have had a chance. Yeah, because now, even if we draw a gut shot, we can't actually cast it. So there's just, yeah, there's no way out. Well, looks like the 5-0 dream's dying. There's Crushy Crusherton. Little late. Well, you can't win them all. You can't win them all. Oh, dear. Well, opponent shows off their absolutely loaded hand. Ban it, Wizards. Ban it. All right, playing Pauper time. We are looking to blow up some lands. And this hand's pretty close. We don't have turn 3 land destruction, but starting on Well, we don't have turn 2 land destruction, 3 mana land destruction, but starting on turn 3, we can start blowing things up if we hit our land drops. Oh, alright. Or we just draw 3 mana land destruction. Land down. Well, now we're a land away from having pretty much our ideal draw island. Come on, deck. Give us that land. Give us a land. If we don't get it, we can cycle to try to find it, but it slows us down a turn. Well, wild growth. Cycle Sandworm. So our opponent's going to get to 2 lands. Alright. Crushy Crusherton. Pass the turn. The downside of this is it means our opponent can potentially start leaving up counters. Let's see. It looks like Blue-Red Delver, most likely. Cycles Ash Barrens. Gets an island. Yep. So counters will be active. Maybe. Oh, Kiln Fiend. Interesting. Well, play Wild Growth. Blow up the blue source. Pass the turn. Now we might... Kiln Fiend's so scary. Very, very scary. Are we dead? Preordain. Pumps the Kiln Fiend. Opponent. Getting in. Alright, only getting in for 4. Opponent passes. There's a land. Well, let's entwine a Reapso. I mean... Crusher, maybe, is our chance? Opponent probes. Pumps Kiln Fiend. Come on, miss that land drop. Miss that land drop. No land. Oh, no land. Okay. That's good. Opponent gets in for 4. Lightning bolts. All right. They're just going as far as they can, as fast as they can. Down to 6. Well, Reapso. Get a land. Come on, no lands. No lands. No lands. All right, no land. Oh, come on. If they whiff on land one more turn, Crusher can do it. Down to 5. We need one more miss land drop. Crushy Crusherton. Pass the turn. Miss this land drop. Miss this land drop. Opponent scoops it up. Oh my goodness, we got there. Wow. All right. Unfortunately, we don't actually have any way of interacting with this. Like, that's our only plan. I guess Sprout Swarm can block. Run it back. Okay, this hand's very good. Assuming our stuff lives. I guess our best way of beating this deck is just try to keep our opponent's lands to a minimum. Island. Opponent passes. Well, Forest and Arbor Elf. Opponent cycles, gets a land. Yup. Well, we will see. There's the mountain. Does this mean Kiln Fiend's coming down? Mountain. There's the Kiln Fiend. We'll play the Forest. Play Wild Growth. Play Utopia Sprawl. On green. Untap. Acid Moss the island. Get a land. Pass the turn. Oh boy. Let's see. What do you got? Probes. Pumps Kiln Fiend. Oh, they found a land. That's a good draw. All right. Ponders Pumps Kiln Fiend. We had a very good start, but our opponent has the Kiln Fiend, and we just can't actually kill a Kiln Fiend. All right. Opponent chooses to shuffle. That's good news. Gets in with Kiln Fiend. And scoops it up! They can't get there! 4-1! We got the 4-1! Pauper Ponza! We lost a 3-game match to Delver. Wow! Okay. Well, Delver still seems like a problem, but not bad for Pauper Ponza, I have to say. I don't even know if we were favored in that last game. But, sure. That means we get to crack open 4 treasure chests. Pauper leagues on Magic Online are only friendly, so there's no competitive leagues. They all are in the friendly format. So, huh? Oh, I see. Well, let's crack them open. We get 4 chests. Hopefully we get rewarded for our Pauper Ponza performance. Chest 1. Hostile Desert. Oh, Greater Sandwurm. It actually works with our Pauper deck. Not very valuable, though. Come on. 2 more to go. Or 3 more. 20 play points. So that's not bad. 20 play points is something. Doomfall's playable. Spider, not so much. Come on. 2 more. Something good. Hand of the Praetor. Tormentor. Thrashing Raptor. All right, last chance. Last chance for glory. Ooh, Scorched Ruins. This spiked in paper when Blood Sun came out, I think. Is it worth anything? Is it worth anything on Moto? All right, 3.41 tick. So a slight win. A slight win, not an insane win, but a slight win. So, all right, we'll take it. Pauper Ponza, legit. Well, I'll be back in a bit with a wrap up. So what do we learn this week about Pauper Ponza? And the deck was great. I mean, the deck was super strong. We played a Pauper League. We went 4-1 in our Pauper League. Our only loss was a 3-game match to the very tough Mono Blue Delver list, which, oh, that's a rough one. But we were absolutely just crushing people with this deck. We had flawless victories. We had Ulamog's crushers. So the deck was just very competitive, with one big exception. It seems super rough against Delver. Like, if our opponent goes turn 1 Island Delver go, we kind of just can't win. Like, in theory, we can win. We can ramp really quickly into Ulamog's Crusher and try to race or something. But for all intents and purposes, we don't beat Mono Blue Delver. You can see that in our sideboard, where 8 of our slots are dedicated to that matchup, with Scattershot Archers, with Gut Shots, and even that's not really enough. Like, Gut Shot gets Delver if we get it right away before it flips. Scattershot, same way. Like, we gotta kill other stuff or have Scattershot plus something else, because Delver has 2 toughness. So that is the big, I guess, bugaboo with the deck. We crush through control, we crush through mid-range, we even beat some like combo-y decks like the Kiln Fiend deck, which is pretty scary and aggressive, but Delver itself is just super devastating. So that seems like the biggest problem with the deck. So if you're playing Pauper locally and 40% of your meta or something is Pauper, you gotta find a way to improve that matchup, I think, even more than what we got. In theory, like, we can be on the draw, we can start blowing up lands on turn 1 and win that way, or just ramp into Crusher, but for the most part, that seems like by far our hardest matchup. But the deck felt like Modern Ponza. Like, if you've played Modern Ponza, it feels exactly like it. The super quick ramp in the early game, the great finishers with Ulamog's Crushers and our Krosan Tuskers being kind of our version of Inferno Titans and Glory Bringers and Stormbreath Dragons. So it feels like legit Pauper. The land destruction is great. The ramp is great. Gotta give a shout out to Sprawl Swarm. During the original deck tech, I was pretty hard on it. Like, is this a troll card? Is this even good? But it was actually very good. It doesn't necessarily solve our Delver problem, which again is our big problem with this deck, but it was very strong when we drew it. With all of our ramp, it's easy for it to spiral out of control. It was essential to us beating the blue-black control deck, where we were able to time it when our opponent was tapped out, just keep going wide, eventually beat down with all the tokens. So overall, I was super impressed with Pauper Ponza. So if you're looking for something new, and you like making opponents miserable and getting flawless victories and blowing up lands, this is a pretty sweet option, I think. Try to figure out a way, and I don't know what that way is, to improve the Delver matchup. It's Pauper. I don't know if there's better options than Gut Shot and Scattershot Archer for a mono green deck, but that's the one big thing that's a problem. Otherwise, the deck is sweet. It crushes people, gets some really cool wins, really fast, really good at blowing up lands. So anyway, that's been our Playing Pauper this week, Pauper Ponza. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.